Hey there, I'm Scott, and I'm back with 10 more millionaire habits from my life that are guaranteed to improve your life and maybe even help you become a millionaire. As in my first video, which I've linked below in the description, these are real habits of mine, not things I looked up or researched in books, and they help take me from broke and in debt after college to owning multiple businesses and finally retiring and starting my YouTube channel to spread what I've learned. So let's get started. When I worked for 4 years at a retirement communications company, I learned a ton about the importance of investing in your tax-deferred retirement account. If you have one at work, you gotta max it out. If you don't, then start your own Roth IRA at Vanguard, Fidelity, Betterment, or one of the other brokerages. Put in as much money as you can, set it up so your deposits are automatic, and live on what's left over. Very important. Invest the money in ETFs and inexpensive mutual funds for the long term, whether it's index funds or a robo-advisor's allocation like at Betterment. I did this when I was in my 20s, and it didn't seem like a lot of money back then, but it just kept growing and compounding, and now it's a decent portion of my net worth. While you're investing that money for long-term growth, you should also be investing in income-producing assets. I got this one from Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I read a long time ago, and although I'm not a fan of everything Robert Kiyosaki says, I do like this particular habit if you think of the word invest as investing your money or your time. An income-producing asset could be rental real estate, dividend stocks, building a YouTube channel, selling a book or a course online, or my favorite, building your own business that pays you a salary and profits every single month. In my case, I get dividends from my stock portfolio, I owned 3 different businesses that produced income, and I bought a small office building and received rental income. In fact, it's the same building I'm filming this in right now. It's become my YouTube studio. Assets are great, but your greatest asset will always be yourself and the knowledge and skills that you possess. If you haven't already mastered at least one valuable skill or gained deep knowledge of a particular topic, then start working on this right now, seriously today. I don't care if it's programming, selling, writing, pipe fitting, engineering, how to run Facebook ads, how to design the perfect YouTube thumbnail, which would be very handy for me. Just master at least one thing that's valuable. This will typically take a few years, but it's time well spent since you can capitalize on that skill or knowledge later. For a lot of people, you'll learn this skill on a job by working in a particular industry for a number of years. For example, you could work at a company that processes credit cards. Learn everything about that industry and how it works, and then take that knowledge either to your own startup or your next job or become a consultant. So if you're at a job right now, you got to soak up everything you can. For me, it was a combination of programming, writing, and graphic design that led to bigger and better things. Believe it or not, I didn't buy a brand new car until I was 40, and for 23 years, I drove a 1994 Toyota Corolla that I bought used in 1996. Yes, I drove that car from 96 to 2019, and it was used when I bought it. I really think you should not buy a new car until you literally have the money sitting around in the bank to pay for it in cash, even though you should generally finance it to save a bit on the purchase price and invest your money elsewhere at a higher return. You can always pay it off early later on, but unless you have money, a new car is just a downward drag on your ability to save and invest. It's a pointless indulgence that you very well might be buying to impress your friends or potential romantic partners. And speaking of trying to impress people, don't. Just don't. Instead, develop the inner confidence so you don't need that outer validation. This will also save you tons of money because you won't be buying flashy things with the goal of raising people's opinion of you. Instead, gain respect through your actions, your words, your actual charisma, your ability to get things done, and your personal integrity. Whenever I see a young person driving around in a flashy car, flashy clothes, I just think about the negative impact on their net worth. I mean, did I impress anybody when I was driving around in my 1994 Toyota Corolla? Totally not. But it taught me that what random strangers think is actually not important. And if your friends need to be impressed by fancy stuff you can't really afford, then probably get some new friends. There is a time to impress people, and that's with your ability to command a room or a group phone call. This is a skill you can learn, but you have to be aware of how you're talking. Speak with confidence, louder than your normal voice, be a little bit commanding, guide the call if you can, calling on different people, keeping things moving. Have the confidence to admit your mistakes, laugh at yourself. I was bad at this when I first started my first real job, but I got better, and later when I had my business, these skills were totally indispensable. Failing your way to success is a total cliche, but cliches are often true, and this one definitely is. In my case, I probably should have tried more things and failed more often. I might have achieved my financial dreams sooner if I had done that, but I definitely had an unsuccessful business right after college, at least one job that went nowhere. And about 5 years ago, I bought another business that totally failed and cost me in the six figures. So the point is, you've got to think of these failures as learning experiences and part of the story of your future success. One thing I think I have succeeded at pretty well is my next habit, which is to follow the golden rule. And if you don't think this is a good habit for a list of millionaire habits, then keep watching, and I hope to prove you wrong. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In other words, whenever you do something, think about the other person or even people in general and behave in the way you would want them to behave towards you. In business, do you want someone to return your calls? Then always return theirs. At work, do you want your coworkers to listen to your ideas? Then always give your full attention when listening to theirs. In a negotiation, do you want the other person to stretch the truth or play a lot of games? Well, if not, then don't do those things yourself. The golden rule is so universal that it can apply to almost any situation, whether you're driving, talking with your boyfriend or girlfriend, writing the description for a product in your online store. In the long run and in the short run, you'll have much greater success. Did I prove how important the golden rule is? Well, then maybe tap on the like button to help someone else learn this too. And speaking of your boyfriend or girlfriend, getting into a committed relationship can really help you become a millionaire that much faster. For one thing, you can pool your resources and your income to buy things like houses, cars, businesses. For another, having that love and support and someone to bounce ideas off of or commiserate when you've had a bad day, it's invaluable. There were so many days when something incredibly frustrating was happening in my business, but I didn't really have a co-founder to talk to, and you can't really let your employees in on all the struggles and challenges. So instead, I would call my wife and tell her what was going on, and she always had great ideas and support. Get a credit card and use it, that's fine, but never run a balance. That is a recipe for disaster, as you can fall further and further behind, rack up lots of interest charges, which is just like throwing your money away. Only charge what you could afford to buy in cash and pay it off every single month, always. And if you can't stick to this, then you really have no business having a credit card to begin with, because it's literally sucking your money away. So which of these habits are you going to try? Leave a comment below and I'll try to respond to every comment. And if you want more awesome videos, click on the recommendation or subscribe to my channel, Scott Talks Money. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.